Hello there, we're back. No guest, it's me on my own. Jussie Peanuts back on the helm. We are going to look at some stuff. I've had some suggestions from... This is episode 20, guys, and it's just me on my own. I've had some suggestions about things to look into on Facebook, YouTube community. So I will do that. This is the campaign. I've spoken about it on other podcasts. I might have leaked it. This is my new movement. It's make conspiracies theories again. Because you remember when Alex Jones was just mental and there wasn't Pizzagate and transgender frogs and the New World Order buying up all the farm. Can we go back to when it was just mental people in kitchens at 3 a.m. and not actual government policy, please? Can we just... I would rather wear my tinfoil hat and be called a dickhead for the rest of my days than be proved correct about vaccines. Have I said the V word? And all that shit. Like the farmers. I mean, it's insane what's going on here in the UK. For those overseas people, it's they want everything, don't they? They want all the land. They want all of the resources. They want to control the food supply, like root to tip, not just as much as they already do. Anyway, this isn't a political show. This is more about this. We're going to look into some fun stuff here. The first section we're going to have, what I want to talk about, is called Know Thy Normie. Now, you may have heard the word normie used. And what does it mean? It means the unquestioning person who refuses to even... who refuses to even acknowledge there is a choice of pill. There are just no pills to the normie. They just accept everything at face value. So I'm going to talk into some types of normie you can encounter, how to spot them in the wild, how to deal with the normies, because they are the enemy, guys. They are our counterparts. And they take the piss. We get called tinfoil hats and we get called this and, flurfers and this and that. Normies are the ones you got to actually watch out for. So, okay, you've seen them out and about. These puffer jackets. This is the normies' uniform of now. This is what they are wearing. This is the government, this is the industry standard normie attire. This is their uniform. It's these fucking new puffer jackets with the narrow quilts. Remember puffer jackets when the Eastern Europeans came and they bought their puffer jackets? They love a puffer jacket. And they were like, 3 of these would have been one band. Well, this is what the normie's wearing. You see someone wearing this, he definitely doesn't believe in chemtrails, right? And did you know that like the rings of a tree, these correlate to norminess, levels of Normington. So if you was to say, take this guy and take let's say from the navel to the nipple, and if you count the number of narrow quilts, that correlates to how many boosters they've had. So we will see these out in the wild. Do not engage with these about anything. Do not try and tell these people any kind of truth. They will roll their eyes. They will tut. They will go, this is the most normie of all. I went out in Norwich, where I live, at the weekend. I very rarely hear it at the weekend because I'm a gigging comedian. And I love this city, Sunday to Thursday. Friday, Saturday, when I go out, I'm like, it's not as good as up, but it's just the fucking... These people turn up. And once you notice them, everyone's wearing these. And you know what it is? They go to a shop and this is all they sell. And they go, oh, this is what everyone's wearing now. I'm going to buy one of these. These people that wear these jackets, they've got nothing about them. They've got no artistry, no romance. They've got no beauty in their heart. They just put that on. And don't believe in chemtrails. And they get boosted. That's normie number 1. Second type of normie. The second type of normie you're going to encounter is the football shirt normie. This is the worst sort because the football shirt normie, he's not coming at it from an angle of you're an idiot. He thinks he is just so bloody, yes, bollocks, and it's all bollocks. These people that wear these, right? Because what this is you know how those old tragic women, spinsters as we used to call them, have cats, and the cat becomes like some sort of like the target of all their missed maternal... Well, the football fan, the one that will spend £100 on this fucking man-made fire hazard polyester because it's got the correct sponsor on it, has to update it every season. All of his beliefs and the things that humans we were gifted, passion and we despise You know, this is all football. So red team good, blue team bad. That's all. That's where it all goes. So when you talk about freedom of speech or politics or the WEF or the New World Order, it's bollocks, isn't it? But all it cares about is the transfer window. This is taking up your RAM. This is what they do. Again, it's a uniform. The football normie is these are the ones that like they're actually more sneering. Like they sort of like that football culture of banter where you can't be the butt of the joke. You can never. A male quality can never admit that you've been duped, you've been had. You know, that sort of super vigilant, overly defensive sort of person where you go to him like, oh, mate, have you ever been to the new shop in town? He goes, have I ever been to the new shop in? Have I been to the new shop in town? And he's running it through that. Am I being took the piss out of? Is this a joke? Oh, I can't be. These blokes, I used to work with people like this in factories and they're tiring. They can never go, do you know what? I don't know. That's quite interesting. I'll look into that. Fucking bollocks, mate. You fucking can't get one over on me, mate. Yeah, all right, John. All that. So this guy, but there's a third type, the worst type. The third type of normie uniform they can spot. This is, for me, the most pernicious, the worst one. You might have a pair. You might not like this, but I'm sorry. It's the fucking bloke wearing, or woman, the person wearing Vans. Now, the reason this is a unique one is the Vans person thinks that they're a little bit out there, a little bit alternative, got a little bit of something about them, but they're wearing fucking Vans. And they're not Vans like when I used to wear Vans. This bit here, for those listening, the sort of knuckle of your little toe on my right foot, because I was regular, was all scuffed up from when I used to ride around on my skateboard. But these people aren't that. But they think, I've got Vans on. This is the person, do you know how to sum this person up? This is the person that thought they were sticking it to the man by buying Rage Against the Machine's Killing in the Name to stop like the X Factor getting to number one. Yeah, this is it, this fake alternative person. This fake person that thinks there's some sort of like... They think they're sticking it to the man whilst feeding the music industry. You fucking idiot, you're playing right into their hands. So this is the person, this is the worst one. I look down and I go, oh, you got Vans on, especially these black and white ones. And you're like, oh, God, you've bought them because these are the Converse All-Star. Similar deal, I guess. I do wear Converse All-Stars because I find them cheap, and I think the Converse All-Stars slightly different to the Van. The Van used to be a skateboarding brand. It's now been co-opted by the normie that wants to hide, the wolf in sheep's clothing. But anyway, so these are three things to look out for. If you like this, let me know some more things you spot in normies. Obviously, you got the extreme version, which is like the live, laugh, love stencils on the wall and all that sort of stuff in their houses. But I'm talking about the ones that you meet out and about. Look for these signs. Clock them. They say something. You got a relevant, pertinent point about the truth or about the world as you see it. Are they wearing a puffer jacket? Is it over a football shirt? Are they wearing Vans? Hold your tongue. You cannot argue with normies. It's a waste of energy. So, we're going to go back all the way back to one of the original, the most, the Loch Ness Monster in this country, and our friends over the pond, Sasquatch, Bigfoot. I'm going to look at the classic, the world-renowned. Is it the most famous piece of conspiratorial footage ever? I mean, yeah, it is. Because I guess there's still, if you're a fucking idiot, some debate about whether the JFK assassination and the moon landing, some people just think they are what they are. Some people don't think they're conspiratorial. So, in terms of... So I'm going to really look at it, give it a chance. This is what we do here. I mean, I don't want to dismiss anything out of hand because that would be me being a hypocrite. Also, we must not just swallow and accept everything without questioning either. So let's have a really good look at... I'm just cleaning my glasses because I'm coming out of the closet as a glasses wearer. I'm practically 50. I'm 50 in 6 months, and I now have to wear glasses for anything closer than about fucking 1.5 meters. So don't take the piss. This is just what I look like now. Right, so let's have a look at this footage. No sound. Do not worry about that. So it's grainy. It's... number one, why in this day and age, this was the 60s, I believe, would somebody be in the woods on the off chance of, with their rolling cine film, which was expensive and difficult. I mean, you had to, the ball ache of having to go and get it processed, but this guy's just, I can't see that now. I can see this, I'm in between. This is the worst, I'm in the worst eyesight period, the transitional period. So let's look. So I'm a bit dubious. I think this yellow square as well, does that mean this is National Geographic? That's quite a recognisable logo. I think that's what that is. I don't know where this is. This is the Patterson original footage. I don't know if it's been enhanced. Right, so let's go. So someone is in the woods. Let's take... You know, we used to watch You've Been Framed, and it would just be someone was filming somebody walking next to a swimming pool holding a cake. And you feel, why are you filming? Like, it's the setup is what makes you know it's a setup. You know, we go back and watch one of my other solo one where I talk about the JFK footage and how it looks staged. Either... Well, let's not go over that. Oh, grand. I'm such a fuck. I think I've got ADHD. I mean, who hasn't, right? So here we go. So it's grainy, it's moving around, and he's filming nowhere. If he walks into shot, I'm going to say that's... Oh, hang on. Is this the... Oh, no, he's actually... Oh, okay. So I thought it was going to be filming nothing and Bigfoot walks on. I've never really looked at this. Bigfoot's going to walk, like you can see my fingers covering on it. Like, well, yeah, there's the monster. And you're like, oh, I've got to frame it right. I'm going to film over here so he walks in. You know, like a tracking shot, like you've been to film school. So anyway, but it looks actually not like that. The most elusive creature of all time's just been caught out in an open, in a glade. And someone with I'm guessing back then it was like the big mechanical fucking film cameras chasing him, and he's not jumped in the bushes. But you know, open mind, Panks. I want to rewind that. He does look back. It looks back. Whatever it is. Where did we go? Let's have another look. So he's walking along, swinging. He looks back like a... Yeah, that one's bollocks. That's bollocks, and that's a bloke in a monkey suit. Right, okay, we've done that. That one's not... That's bollocks. I mean, I don't know, but... Okay, next segment. I want to talk about this woman, Wendy Williams. I don't know if... She's not very well known in this country. She was kind of like a daytime... Basically an American Lorraine Kelly. Not, you wouldn't say she was a journalist, but she was just sort of like a presenter. But you know, people sort of. Well, anyway, she was quite critical of that her who cannot be criticised, Beyonce. Who's just I think it's like a vile scumbag and part of the Diddy scene. But I don't know if you've noticed. We'll look at that in a minute. There's all this foot. Let's just have a listen to Wendy Williams digging out Beyonce and see what's going on here.
Beyonce's directing and starring in an HBO documentary about her life. Now,
so they all cheer because they're Americans.
I heard one person in the crowd say, "What?"
You didn't?
And it came from right over there. Somebody said, "What?" And I have to tell you that this documentary has our staff here at Wendy divided. Half the people are hating hard and saying, "Why is she?"
There's quite a palpable silence, stunned, shocked silence. Like half of my life, I think Wendy Williams was a trailblazer. I don't think you're allowed to criticise Beyonce. There's loads of footage of people receiving awards, music awards, when Beyonce's not even in the room. And they go, oh, before I accept this award, I just want to say Beyonce's the greatest person who ever lived. It's fucked up. But anyway, we'll get into the Beyonce.
She's doing a documentary. We know all that there is to know. I'm not one of those people. I am a Beyonce fan. And
have I got this wrong? Hang on, this might be wrong.
I'm going to be watching this documentary, even if she doesn't introduce us to new stuff, even if she tells us that story about how her daddy used to have them run in high heels again. I'm watching. Because fortunately, one of the TVs in our kitchen has closed captioning, so I'll be able to understand what she says.
Oh, I haven't seen this. I know I've seen clips of Wendy, but this is good. See, Beyonce is an extremely powerful, possibly occultist, but that is the conspiracy that she's the head of this. Because let's face it, and it's so fucked up. But the rich, the famous, the untouchables, they have these Diddy parties. They go to Epstein Island. They go to the what was it? I can't remember what it's called now. Was it Cosmic Pizza? Anyway, the pizza place, Pizzagate. Puff Daddy had 1,000 bottles of baby lotion, but no one thinks it's weird that they spent $25,000 on pizzas and hot dogs. And have you seen how many children go missing in America? It's like hundreds of thousands. There's a child trafficking thing going on. The elites love fucking kids. They always have. From the fish boys and Greeks, look that up. Fish boys were these Greek children that were trained to hold their breath for a long time, because when all the senators, the elderly senators, would sit around in hot tubs, these children were holding their breath, sucking them off under the water. It's as old as time. Elites love fucking kids because they're evil.
She, Beyonce can't talk. Beyonce sounds like she's got a 5th grade education. She can't talk.
Listen to the crowd.
Excuse me, I just said I'm a fan, but we have to call a spade a spade.
Even members of the public seem a little bit like they don't know that she's this powerful, but you get a vibe off people. Like, you sometimes can get it, can't you? Like, sometimes you be on a train platform late at night, and it's not just obvious things like a huge giant bloke with a tattoo of a swastika on his neck, but there are subtle energies. You go, oh, no, this doesn't feel safe. And I just get the impression she's so beloved, Beyonce. And is it through fear? But Wendy Williams' biggest expose, and this is fascinating. This is very interesting. Can you see it up there? Beyonce faking pregnancy. Possibly should be a question mark up there, but there isn't. But let's watch this.
And she's walking out, and everything is...
Beyonce's come to do an interview. She's got a very heavily pregnant bump. You'd say, like, entering a 3rd trimester. Listen to me. It's that sort of thing.
It's fine. She's 5 months pregnant. Then she sits down.
Whoop. Did you see it? I think they might enhance and zoom in, but watch the bump.
Beyonce, and she's walking out, and everything is fine. She's 5 months pregnant. Then she sits down, and... Okay, no, we're going to rerun it until you see it.
Yeah,
let's do it in slow motion. You'll notice she's either giving birth to a Frisbee or Stewie from Family Guy. Look at the shape. Look, do you see? There it is.
That is not a... Now, sorry, I interrupted the audience. Let's listen to that. Listen to the audience reaction when they see it.
From Family Guy. Look at the shape. Look, do you see? There it is.
That's a genuine reaction, isn't it? I mean, that isn't as... There's no... You don't have the applause sign. There's no sign that goes freak out, like as if you've just... Unbelievable. That is not a real bump, is it? She's obviously... These rich people, you think about it, people in the public eye, they used to call it too posh to push, where they all had epidurals or cesareans, but they're just going to have surrogates, aren't they? They're not going to want to fuck their... Not that pregnant, all mothers have got a fucked up body. But you know what I'm saying, don't you? It's like, I don't want to stretch marks and I don't want to fuck my clanger up, whatever they do, you know. But I'm just saying that is something to that in there. Good on Wendy Williams. Bravely.
What that is, B? Okay, now let's bring it back and freeze it. Yeah, we're analyzing.
Yeah,
there it is.
You wouldn't
what is
even
that?
sit like that pregnant.
You
couldn't even bend like that pregnant, could you?
I don't know. I was on bed.
Do you mean, never mind that it could be an optical illusion, you couldn't even contort your spine that much of an angle because the baby, the waters, everything would be in the way. Anyway, Wendy Williams, brave. But obviously, what's happened to Wendy Williams? Nothing's happened to her, of course. She's gone on to have a long and successful career. Oh, hang on a minute.
Heartbreaking news today about former talk show host Wendy Williams. New court documents filed by her legal guardian say she is now permanently incapacitated by her ongoing health battles.
What?
Heartbreaking news.
Who's that?
Wendy Williams is being described as permanently incapacitated due to her battle with dementia and aphasia.
Dementia?
Her guardian, attorney Sabrina Morrissey, made the disturbing revelation in court filings. Wendy was last seen in public at a holistic store back in August, taking a photo with a fan in New Jersey. The former talk show host was also the subject of a Lifetime documentary.
Amazonian, athletic woman, a big, strong woman.
That was criticized for showing Wendy at her lowest, looking out of it, and perhaps not fully aware of what was going on.
We all make choices in life. We all go through our challenges.
Wendy Williams was diagnosed with aphasia and frontotemporal dementia in May of last year.
What? That seems coincidence, doesn't it? So there's a comedian called Trevor Moore, and he was in a sketch show, a comedy show called The Whitest Kids You Know. I'm going to show you two Trevor Moore sketches. This is a song he did called Kitten History.
In a universe that's infinite, like many theorize ours is, there are parallel worlds where every possibility lives. So a planet somewhere out there, their history the same as ours is written. The only difference is that everyone's a kitten.
Everyone's a kitten.
Kitty history just like ours. Kitty dinosaurs. The kitties driving cars. Kitty history. Somewhere in quantum space. Mathematically this had to take place. Kitty world.
So mathematically, it had to take place in an infinite universe where anything's possible. All things are well, you know, we've gone through that stuff. Infinity, everything's happened. A version of everything. So it's basically retelling our history via kittens to sort of not be called a fucking lunatic, I suppose, or get anyway.
So
far, it's just like a general history, but then.
Just like us, Kitty Columbus sailed until he saw land, but then quickly got off so he could poop in the sand. They formed the first kitty cities and kitty towns. Then they wake up at night just to run around. They had their own little kitty civil war, but found some string and forgot what they were fighting for.
I might have to take some of this out for copyright, but so he set it up. So he's done 2 periods of history, Columbus discovering America, and whatever the first one was, I wasn't really paying attention, about World War I, II. But so he's setting up the premise that he's telling that out there's a world exactly like ours, but run by kittens. Or populated by kittens. Like Planet of the Kittens.
Little Kitty JFK, by Kitty Lyndon Johnson and the CIA. Then Lyndon doubled down on Kitty Vietnam, and they bought more helicopters and kitty bombs from a company where his wife was the main stockholder, and they made a kitty fortune before the war was over. Kitty.
Now we're starting to get there, aren't we? You see where I'm going with this? It's not just a sort of quite catchy surf song about Oh, he's throwing in some subversive, alternative histories. Okay. I'm in. Kitty's taking charge.
Kitty Bush waits his turn to ascend to his throne. Gets his cronies in power, Kitty USA overthrown. The Kitty Saudis know how he can repay his debt, so he starts a war with Iraq, their number 1 threat. But Kitty Saddam is not ejected, and the very next year Kitty George isn't re-elected. Kitty history, kitties need a new star.
Who's that gonna be?
Kitty Bush gets his son's jobs as governors, then one steals the election for the other. New Kitty Bush has gotta finish the Saudis' mission, so there's a report made by a commission that says to start a new war, as far as we can attest, you'd need a new Kitty Pearl Harbor.
You'd need a new. I just wanted to get that on the screen. To start a new war, they did like a focus group. This is what he's saying the cats did, mind you. You'd need a new Pearl Harbor.
And we all know the rest. Kitty history, exactly like ours.
Exactly like ours.
Kitty history, out in the space-time loops. Kitty leader and kitty baking groups. Kitty history.
Anyway, you get the point. I didn't mean to keep stopping and interrupting it. It's a bit of a banger, actually, isn't it? If you like that sort of thing. Touch to the 5, 6, 7, 8s about it or that sort of thing. But I felt like I had to because I didn't want to. I don't know. I don't understand that fair usage about copyright. So anyway, that's Trevor Moore. Let's have a look at one of his sketches. That was a song called Kitty. Let's have a look at one of his sketches. Okay, so now we saw the Kitty history. Now there's a sketch. There he is, Trevor Moore. He's just a comedian, right? You can joke about anything. You should never punch down. And if you say that the one thing you can't do in comedy is punch down, who's the one thing you should? Obviously, you with impute. Of course, you should punch up. And if you can punch up, where's the very top? The elites. Let's see what this sketch is all about.
we really liked the last album.
Oh, I mean, we really, really liked it.
We
Maybe
loved it, and have decided to give you
the album had
a
history on
TV
it.
special
Wow.
to go along with the next one, huh?
Wow.
How does that make you feel?
That's great. I'm so excited.
Oh, so are we. So are we.
We are so excited. Now, there's just a couple little official things we have to get out of the way.
Okay.
Since we're an
So those listening, he's in a boardroom with two big, powerful, media panjandrums.
international media company, you're going to have to meet with the higher-ups and go over some stuff. Is that all
Meets with the higher-ups.
Sure.
Great. Well, then, why don't you just show him down the hall?
Yeah, no problem. Trevor, follow me.
So he's taking him down the hall. Oh,
Wow. Whoa.
some eyes
This
wide
is a cool
shut shit.
office. I like the little fire things over there and everything.
He's being very dumb and taking it at face value. He's clearly walked into a satanic cult.
Hey, Hi, we're the Illuminati.
Dave Foley, Kids in the Hall, absolute all-time favourite sketch show of mine.
Hi. Hello.
Hi.
So we heard about your big special. We are very excited.
Yeah, thanks. Me too.
Yeah, but before you can do a special on a major cable network, we're going to need you to sign some things.
Ooh, just some normal legal disclaimers, no
Sounds
doubt.
good.
I'm deliberately interjecting so I don't get fucking flagged on YouTube. I'm sorry if it's annoying.
We're also going to need you to swear a blood oath to us and our cause. And if you violate this oath, we're going to murder you and everyone that you love.
Got
Ooh.
it. Great.
You'll also
If he violates this, they're going to murder him.
need to pledge your
Seems
soul
harsh.
to Baphomet. He's this god that we all worship.
After this, we're going to get into the Forrest Gump Baphomet. That's just... See, this, we really are freeballing.
Okay. He looks pretty cool. He's like a crazy goat man kind of thing.
Now, we will need you to include some of our messaging in your program.
Oh, okay. So you mean like there's going to be a commercial sponsor or something?
No, nothing tacky like that, no. We just want you to have some, self-destructive themes. Like we use a lot of hip-hop artists to glorify violence and drugs, pop
Isn't this fucking good? This is so good. It's so good.
stars to push materialism, country acts to instill suspicion of education.
Oh, okay. That sounds
So they use hip-hop to promote toxicity in the black community of like toxic masculinity, violence, and in country music, suspicion of education. Like we're just downright dirty rednecks driving our pickup trucks with truck nuts on and going fishing, and in the hood, this just life's cheap. Let's pop a cap in someone's ass for nothing. I mean, it's not wrong. Yeah, it's not wrong.
cool.
We'll also need to film you in a lewd act with a minor.
Hello, what? That would never happen, would it? That would never. Well, hang on a minute. That's exactly what they fucking do. Been saying it. I saw Candace Owens said that she actually thinks that a lot of the internet pornography. Because I find it. Think about this. I'm worried that this is going to get yanked off YouTube for copyright because it's automatically just tracked. There's not someone sitting there watching it. Yet all that pornography is free. All that you can go on like watch entire films, and I'm sure now and then the odd one does get, but they've bypassed it. They want that out there. They want that big archive of pornography out there. I think it's a demoralization campaign to get men feeling inadequate and shameful. And also, I think, as Candice said, that they're recording every keystroke at this GCHQ, whatever it is, this big data farm or data storage places. Where if like I became some sort of like revolutionary and sort of like some cult leader, they would go, "Oh, you wanked off to some transsexual porn 13 years ago. Here it is on your webcam." And that's what the elites did. So they would get you into Jeffrey Epstein's island or townhouse, where Weinstein was it? Not Eric, his brother. Not Eric. What's his name? You know. What's his name? The two Weinsteins, isn't there? There's Eric and... Anyway, he said... Oh, it was Eric, I think. He said he went in and there was a picture. And there was a very visible CCTV camera in a photo. Like, it was obvious. And he said it was completely deliberate. And it's like this hyper-normalization of, like, what's going on, like, hiding in plain sight. But you go there and... I'm rambling now, but they do film and get you in compromised situations. Like I had an epiphany revelation where you used to hear, and I know, where they say, to join our gang, like the Hells Angels or whatever, apocryphally maybe, you have to commit a murder. And I thought, that's to prove that you would murder for the gang. It's not. So they've got something on you. If they say, go here, bury the body there, now they've fucking got you, haven't they? That's the same thing. Because if you go, I'm going to leave the Hells Angels, they go, oh, are you? Well, we're going to say about that murder you did 20 years ago and where the body is and how you did it. Yeah, and but this is the thing. This is the skeletons. Like, what they want is they want your skeletons in their closet, and then they've got you by the balls.
To use as blackmail if you ever think of telling anyone about anything that happened here today.
Now, could I self-tape that, or is that something that you'd want me to shoot here?
We'd like you to do that here.
Well, finally, we're gonna...
That was basically exactly what I just said, wasn't it? Self-taping versus doing it in the...
gonna need a suicide note in your own handwriting, just in case things get crazy.
I actually might have an old one on me. I'm sort of a pack rat.
I think we're good. Trevor, do you have any questions for us?
Yeah. Who killed Kennedy?
A French sniper, but it was set up by Lyndon Johnson.
Oh. That's his obsession.
You're right. Sorry, that was a stupid question. Are aliens real?
Aliens are real.
What are they like?
You know, some are very cool, some are kind of shitty. We're pretty tight with the shitty ones.
Is there anything else? Anything at all?
Yeah, I forgot my federal ID number. Is it okay if I just leave that blank?
Yeah, we can fill that in.
Great. I think that's it for me.
Trevor, we're all looking forward to working with you.
Yeah.
Me too.
And remember, just have fun with this thing.
But don't ever cross us, because if you do, well, we've implanted a small explosive device in your heart.
Obviously, it's just a joke, because this is him crossing them, isn't it? If you, and obviously, like, this proves that that there's no such that there is no occult nefarious underground group of elites doing this sort of thing, because they would never let him get away with this, would they? And obviously, he's living a long and healthy life. Oh, hang on, hold the press. I've just misspoke. No, he isn't living a... Of course he isn't a long and healthy life. He died... Let's get into it. Career, 2000s. I might have to get my glasses on again for this. Hang on. He died... Hang on. Where does it say? Where's death? Career... Oh, there's death. Death. On August 7th, 2021, at the age of 41, Moore died after being involved in an accident at his residence in Franklin Hills, Los Angeles, resulting in blunt force head trauma. TMZ reported that Moore fell from the upstairs balcony of his home around 2:30 a.m. Subsequent toxicology reports identified alcohol as a contributing factor. Approximately 1 month prior to the accident, Moore had posted on Twitter that upon his death, he wished to be referred to as local sexpot, which was referenced in his Vulture obituary. Rest in peace, Trevor Moore. I don't know. I mean, they say you shouldn't punch down. Maybe it's safer than punching up in comedy. Maybe we shouldn't. Maybe down is where you have to fucking punch if you don't want to fall off your own balcony at 2:30 in the morning. I mean, and they don't make it. They make it. You know, they're not trying to cover up. That's just, you know, it's like the thing, innit, when they cut your head off and put it on a spike. They want you to know that they're offing people. They want to know that this sort of like might make you think twice about writing a sketch about the Illuminati. Anyway, where are we going next? Just a little quick one. This is supposedly an actual image of the moon covered in craters. Some of these, they say, are 400 kilometers wide. I mean, this one's wide, this dark one. Do you know things weird? Why are they all the exact same depth? I've always asked this. You know, and there's no elliptical ones. Like, everything's hit it dead on. Like, wouldn't you think that there'd be some glancing craters making more of a cavern or a canyon? Or this looks like you've put talcum powder on something and dropped water on it or something, doesn't it? I mean, consistent depths. I mean, the thing what hit that one there. I need a pointer. I'm going to get... that's what I'm going to get. I could be a right dickhead then with a telescopic pointing stick. But this one over here, That one has been hit by something that must have been a lot bigger and heavier than this one. They're the same depth. Look, even the small ones are the same depth as the big ones. Now, I'm not a scientist, you know, and there's, I'm not a scientist. Well, I'll say it again because I know it's hard to believe. I'm not a scientist, but it's not. It's very uniform, isn't it? It's very uniform and very neat. You think it'd be like craggy and like where this one hit and the dust would come out and there'd be a mountain of dust, because that's how like it looks like. Was it underwater? It looks like the sea. Was it the seabed? Because East Anglia is very flat, like the fens and that, because it was all underwater. I mean, I don't know. But it's just a quick question. I mean, I could look it up, but I don't want to because I won't be satisfied with the answer. But here are, you know, here are these little sort of, you know, when you see the lunar footage from the Apollo missions when they stepped on the moon, you can that there is like hills behind them. There's one where I've seen some, I reckon they found it. There's like a tabletop shaped one just outside Nevada. But that doesn't look like random chaotic impact zones, does it? That looks like a controlled, like say, like drops of water. You know, I think even if I put some dust down and dropped water from different heights, it would have more variation than that. And also, when all this dust is displaced and it goes up, does it carry on going up? Does it settle? I mean, it's 1/7 of the gravity, but no atmosphere. Would the dust? Let's look at that lunar rover. Let's look at the dust being flicked. I've never thought of that. That we've looked at it before. That stupid little fucking buggy. But what happens to the dust flicked off the wheels? I think this might be the exact one we've watched.
Okay, I'm ready.
I'll turn the volume down. Yeah, okay. That just doesn't look real. It instantly doesn't look real, does it? It's slowed down, isn't it? I mean, look, he's barely moving, and it's flicking up dust. Watch the dust come up from the wheel at that speed. I know it's different gravitational, so they say, environment, but it's dropping down. Why wouldn't it? The dust would hang around 7 times. I'm not a scientist again, but if it's 7th of the gravity, I don't even know if that's right. I don't know where I got that from. Wouldn't the dust go 7 times higher, take 7 times longer to drop for it, you know, to simplify it, you know, into my sort of like R-worded mentality? But that looks slowed down, doesn't it? Like the amount of dust flicking up. Look at it. It's just acting normal. Has anyone sped this up? And I bet it looks exact. What's that? Is that like some little device they've put there? Look, it's driving over to that thing. It doesn't look real. That looks sort of super. They like took the background out somehow, doesn't it? The horizon looks kind of smoothed off. You know, when you do, like, I do quite a bit of work on Photoshop, and when you like select something, you can sort of blur the radius. It doesn't look. This is very. That does look blurry there. I don't know if you can pick that up. Look at it. It's called 4K 60 frames per second Apollo 16 Lunar Rover Grand Prix 1972. But the very in the distance, it looks blurred. Like I can see something here also. Look at that. There's like a light frame in the top corners. I can't see it on my just about see it, but there's definitely like a halo in the. Is that? What's that? That's not the Earth, is it? I haven't been paying attention. No, that's something to do with the camera. But this is blurred. It looks like it's. That's just not real. That's not real. And why would he be driving that around with that little umbrella and everything? Like, and that was brighter. Hang on a minute. It's brighter here. Like he's more in the, like he's closer to the. Oh my god! Look, you can see because you can see sort of like more of the sort of surface there. What am I doing? It's a podcast. You can see more of the surface there, and here where it's brighter, It's all smoothed out, but obviously it's a constant light source from the sun. Also, the shadows... This shadow of the cameraman, I'm guessing, looks like it's going this way. And that buggy's shadow looks like it isn't. It looks like coming out the front, look. This is the most annoying one, the lunar footage. Because this is how the normies in their puffer jackets would say, this is either or. This is like a test case. And they go, I suppose you don't believe we went to the moon. It's like, well, obviously fucking not. This is the one with the most janky footage. This is the most evidence. It's just ridiculous. But it is an indoctrination. It's like, again, it's like if you're in a religion, it's like, to prove how much you love your God, you can end up firebombing people of a different faith. It's like, whoa, no. But I don't know what I mean by that. But what I mean is this is like, do you believe in the moon landing? Yeah, I do. Oh, good, cool. You're one of us. If you believe this, you'll believe anything. And this is a dividing line. But that is true. You can't argue with that. I don't know if it's coming across on my screen what you can see. This has got a lot more detail and shadow in, and this looks like it's a brighter light source. It's like when something's like washed out from light, and it's just completely one, It is as well. Damaged tape. I've watched this before. And now the light looks totally different. Now it looks darker. Did you see what I mean? But when he come here, it was like he got too close to the light and it was saturated. Let's watch again. Is this the same? Come back. Oh, well, the man knows. He's starting to lag. Look. Yes, brighter. He's in the brighter part. And look how fine that dust is. But then there's also rocks. That's another thing. Doesn't dust and sand get made by the tide? No, I'm not a scientist. The tide smashing pebbles together, like basically like the whole planet's like a big pestle and mortar, and the pebbles become sand. How is there fucking lumps of rock and sand up there? What are the conditions that's created that? But yeah, so that was that. So, anyway, in the interest of the truth, I've got to do it. How long have I got? I did ask the community on YouTube to if there's anything they want me to look into, and a couple of people took the time to reply, so I must have a look. I haven't done any research. Have you heard the conspiracy that Stevie Wonder's lying about being blind? I have heard that. Not less because I see him in a driving in a music video, which I mean, even the fucking the most unprepared director wouldn't do that. And again, it's just to put it out there. The Samurai. Let's look at this one. I'm gonna look up one of these, like in real time. Never heard of it to the point I can't even pronounce it. The bicameral mind hypothesis. The bicameral mind hypothesis. The theory posits that the human mind once operated in a state in which cognitive functions were divided between one part of the brain that appears to be speaking and a second part that listens and... So our brain is literally split into... I hope this isn't politically incorrect, like we used to say with hard drives, slave and master, right? Do you remember you used to get those jumpers? Who remembers them? You'd get like your hard drive and you had like it was called a jumper, and it was like a little peg. And you'd have to move it. If it was a master, you'd have it on like pin 2 and 4, for example. And if you wanted to be a slave, you'd have to move it. And see, kids don't know about shit like that. That's like basically you had to sort of be a bit of a mechanic to fucking to do a bit of computing back then. The difference between just someone who can drive. All kids now think they know from computers. They can drive really well. But we knew how to operate under the hood. The speaking and so let's look. I'm going to look this up on YouTube because reading is for nerds. We'd rather watch a video, wouldn't we? Bicameral. David Duchovny. All right. Let's watch this. This one's got... That's an advert. This one's got a picture of the creation of Adam. So it's got to be highbrow, right?
What if I told you that thousands of years ago, human mentality was completely different?
That's not his real voice, is it? If it is, this geezer has never even thenopathy.
From what it is today. That the people who built the Great Pyramid of Giza settled between the Tigris and Euphrates rivers and composed the...
Did you hear the thing that the pyramids are the exact centre of the biggest massive land on the earth? Like, you know, like I think there's a place in Derbyshire which is the furthest from water in the UK, the most landlocked area, if not land, well, whatever. I think the pyramids, they mirror Orion. They're the dead centre of the land mass. I suppose if you would go from France and then you go all the way down, because it's all connected, isn't it? It's only by strands, but that's by Elat, and you go down past the Elat, the Red Sea, and then across the Red Sea, I think it's Iraq from Egypt, the Sinai, that part of the... Africa's like a big triangle and a little triangle, and you got the big triangle, and then you got the Red Sea, and there's this little triangle, the Suez Canal, whatever. Then you got a little triangle, then you got the Red Sea, and then the others. I don't fucking know.
The Iliad were unlike us in the way they thought and perceived the world. This is the theory of the bicameral mind, first proposed by Julian Jaynes in 1976, and it supposes that the minds of ancient humans were unrecognizable compared to cognition in modern humans.
I think this is parasitical. I've said it before. My theory is it's parasitical. If there is two halves of the brain, one is the master, one is the slave. The master side is the urges and doing the bidding of the parasite. Like with the Toxoplasma gondii, where rats get infected and they get sexually aroused and brave, and they get sexually aroused by cat piss. So they go towards cats and get eaten, so the Toxoplasma gondii can get back inside the cat. Now, if you could speak to a rat, he'd go, I don't know, I'm just really love cat piss. You know how like fat people like food, or you know junkies like heroin. You know, got this. I know that's probably a bad example. Chemically addictive, but you don't get addictive personalities like, oh, I'm addicted to everything. It was gambling, it was booze, then I got addicted to Pokemon, then I got addicted to whatever. That's the symptoms, isn't it? Like the symptoms of a parasite can appear to be the disease, but there could be something controlling you. Spoke to Craig Campbell about it. It's a belief I had where I think that human consciousness is a mirage in our brains that is the byproduct of a parasite that could be an alien cosmic parasite that makes us greedy and basically progress. Like we were sat around skinning animals, living in caves and cooking them on the fire. We could have just done that forever. Like all the other animals on this planet. They say that sharks are older than trees. Sharks an apex predator. It's perfect. It swims around, it eats, it passes on its genes. If the point of life is to pass, but humans are the only thing that don't do that to their own detriment. Like we will concrete and pave the whole planet eventually, and we wage wars and we create nuclear bombs that are self-destructive in the name of progress. That is not a natural thing in the order of in the circle of life. That humanity. So could that be the byproduct of some sort of cosmic parasite? That is what sets humans apart from animals. So that's what I'm saying. So two parts of your brain, is that not just the voice of the parasite, like the quadricep mushroom, saying to the ant, climb to the top of the tree? Do you know this? That they make ants, like zombie ants, control their brains, and they climb as high as they can, and then they bite this leaf, and then they just die, and the quadricep mushroom grows out of its head, and then it releases spores from up there. So the ant's just climbing. I've got this urge to climb. I'm into climbing, like humans are into progress. But the ant's not into climbing. It's the parasite, the toxins, the mind control of the parasite making it climb. I think that's what human progress is, because we're obsessed with it to our own detriment.
The mentality of most people today is that of ego consciousness. You have an ego, which you use to purposely direct your thoughts and actions. This ego can also inhibit your natural instincts, to control impulsive behavior. Something which is necessary for living in a large society, and doing the kind of work which requires a focused attention. But the further back we investigate history, the more apparent it becomes that humans did not always possess ego consciousness. When we study the Iliad, one of the oldest works of literature...
Did he say Witterwitch? I shouldn't take the piss, but if he said Witterwitch, I've got to turn this off, because I'm going to turn into a high school bully and I don't want to.
When we study the Iliad, one of the oldest works of literature,
I mean, he might be Asian. I'm probably dangerous thin ice there.
we find that the human characters do not seem to have their own egos, and do not seem to control their own actions.
How can he say controller, but Witterwitcher? Is he taking the piss? He said the L. It can make an L sound.
The way we would today.
Way we would. See, now he said it, that sounded wrong, but the way we would is right. But see what... I know this is a tangent, but I didn't know what this was. But listen, when he says the way we would...
Characters do not seem to have their own egos, and do not seem to control their own actions the way we would today. Instead...
That was normal, but because he said Witterwitcher, my ears picked up on it.
Whenever a character makes a decision, it is only because he's being compelled to do so.
Compelled? Said the L fine there, mate.
By a god, whether it be Zeus, Apollo, or Athena. Achilles, Agamemnon...
But then he said Achilles. Did he say... He's gone down the shop to buy some kiwis. A kiwi.
Apollo or Athena. Achilles, Agamemnon, and Hector never plan out what to do of their own accord, nor do they seem to have an independent will apart from what the gods tell them to do. Normally, we would chalk this up as a poetic device, but ancient literature is filled with people...
Stop saying Witterwitcher. I bet this is Engagement Farm, and I bet the comments are full of stuff about how he talks. Not one. Fucking nerds. There's the trouble with nerds. They're too accepting. If someone had wedgied him a few times, he might have sorted his fucking speech out, done him a favour. Anyway, I think that's long enough. I've got some guests coming. Put this back up. I've got some guests coming. I've got some big guests. I've got the Investigate Earth Conspiracy podcast interested, but they're in America. We're trying to hash out a suitable date, American to GMT time. Also, I've got a live one coming up where I'm going to be interviewing someone in the flesh, not here in London. Someone with a very interesting story, so I'm trying to make that happen. But listen, thanks for watching. I think because I have to obviously edit out the bits of me searching stuff like an old man, the old hunt and peck type. But I didn't get anything covered there. I could do this on my own every fucking episode. I don't know if there's something wrong with me. What was it called? Bisimony. I've got two halves of my brain. I feel like there's a whole conversation going on in here. I don't need someone else. It's not good. Anyway, thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Make conspiracy theories again and know your normies and know when to engage and when to stay. So...